Okay, we are live.
Okay, so in order to be an effective leader, you have to be ethical, and ethics absolutely shapes leadership roles and the culture that that leader brings to the work environment. Howard Schultz is the CEO of Starbucks and is a great example of an ethical leader, I believe. As the book states, a leader communicates a plan of action to his or her followers. When it comes to public leadership, Howard is constantly engaging his audience and followers with knowledge, and he continuously lets them have a good understanding of his vision and plans on where his next step is towards taking the company. With that being said, Howard believes in the company and his partners that are passionate about doing business the right way, and that is why the company, I believe, is so successful and has made it to where it is today. And honesty, being a good communicator, and loyalty are all characteristics that create an ethical public leader. So, being able to acknowledge problems and approaching them the right way will always be resulting in successful outcomes.
That's great. Um, Anybody want to go next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
Um, in terms of defining ethics, um, with regard to leadership, I think it's a lot about being honest and just really transparent with your followers. Um, and your intentions, really, having honest intentions, not trying to deceive people. It gave some examples in our textbook this week of leaders that are in power that aren't ethical, and in our prompt to it says how ethical behavior is reflected in public leadership. But I feel like a lot of times in public leadership, ethical behavior isn't something that they practice a lot. Um, at least that's my opinion. I feel like I experience ethical leadership more in a workplace and in a smaller group than I feel like a public scale. Um, how they shape leadership, I feel like it makes or breaks a good leader. You can really tell, um, when a leader isn't ethical. Um, and at least from my past experiences, leaders that aren't honest, that are, trying to deceive people or their followers, they aren't transparent. You don't feel comfortable with them. So I think it definitely is something that a good leader has to have, is ethics and being ethical. Excuse me.
Diane, do you want to comment?
Sure. So for me, when it comes to ethics and a ethical leader, comes from code of conduct. Basically leading your team in the right direction, having a positive outlook and view on leadership and others. Also, getting the buy-in from your team by following the right morals and values, and that's where it comes with starting with the organization, where it says what is their morals, what is the value, what is the mission statement. Most of organization mission statement is what creates what that leader's ethics is going to really follow. So it gives you like a blueprint or a guideline to follow. So like for Starbucks, we do have our values and we do have our missions, and like she said, Howard Schultz is a role model of that, and it trickles down to the RVP and the district managers and the store managers to have that role model to follow, so that way we could show our baristas and we could show our shift supervisor and model that behavior of what leadership should look like and what the ethics are. So that's what a great ethics with leadership is for me.
That's great. Yeah, I was very curious about Starbucks because I kind of think of them as being a, sustainable. The idea that they try to help, countries that need water, and that, you see that in their branding and the way that they market to people as well.
Yeah, I think we do good. I think where Howard really is honing in, and I actually noticed with a lot of companies now, is with diversity inclusion and opportunities for youth. They're realizing that when it comes to ethics, it's not only what we practice inside our store, but it's also what we bring to our community and to our organization. And I realize a lot of organizations are starting to hone in on the diversity, inclusion, and opportunities for youth, which I think is an amazing thing.
Gina?
Yeah. So I work in a local city organization, and really for me, ethics is about doing the right thing when no one's looking.
Right.
It's about being free and making decisions from improper influences, being guided by principle and conscience, and like I said, really doing the desire to do the right thing. We work under the city's mayor and a city manager, so looking to them to be ethical is really important, not only to us as employees, but to the citizens of the city. And because it's really the taxpayers' money that we're dealing with. So again, we have to make sound decisions when spending or allocating the funds. Other aspects of being ethical is having a high level of integrity, being open to different viewpoints, and being responsible well. So as far as let's see, so I think our ethics, it does shape leadership in my organization in that aspect.
Terrific. Deanna?
Yeah, so I guess I would have to agree with most of what everybody said. Being ethical, obviously, the first and foremost is the honesty or the integrity behind the person. It's aligning yourself with the vision and values or the mission statement of the company. For Wells Fargo, for example, John Stumpf is our current CEO, and he really has to I guess his mindset is really getting out in front of things, making sure reputational risk right now is a hot topic, or hot word, I should say, within our organization. Every decision that we make, we need to keep our customers in mind at all times. Any type of behaviors that we kind of experience, one of the things that they tell us to do is, would you conduct this type of behavior, and if you would, are you going to end up on the 7 o'clock news kind of a thing? So it's always making sure that you're just aware. You understand, you're aligning yourself with the vision and values as far as, your honesty, being transparent, taking responsibility for things. Our big thing is always protecting our brand. Being with Wells Fargo, obviously, a very, very big brand. So it's not, again, I know somebody also already hit on that, but it's not just inside the workplace, it's outside, it's how you carry yourself. So I think that, yeah, I think that's it for me.
Yeah, I could see companies too that are the size of Wells Fargo, Starbucks. You really are watched very closely. You can't really hide behind too much because you're in such a public eye. One of the things that, just from kind of hearing you guys talk, was I think of public leadership and ethics, just because obviously we're going through an election right now, so I feel like you're seeing it so much. And I think, a lot of times people's ethics are questioned in those settings because, you've got people trying to maybe break you down a little bit. You've got people, you're trying to build yourself up and other people trying to take you down. So I think sometimes there are situations created out of really nothing that can really put people in the limelight for, no reason, but also I think it can be profitable. If you're using good ethics, like Starbucks campaigns that you see, I think Patagonia, the Body Shop, they're very trying to use ethics, not so much just in their direct leadership style, but just in the way that they deal with their customers, letting them know. And I think people want to see that and are very excited about the idea that they're using recycled materials or that they are giving back. Tom's shoes, made me think of that, giving back to people in need. I think, you can actually use that as an advantage in your marketing and the way your company is running, and actually be profitable as a result of it. So to me, it's kind of a win-win. The other thing that kind of came up when I was reading, my husband and I own our own company. We've got 7 employees. And one of the things that kind of stuck out was the book where it kind of talked about the challenge of privilege and, you know, using kind of ethics in those situations. And one of the things that we've noticed over the years that we've had our business is that it's very important that even though we're owners, you know, you kind of think, well, you can kind of make your own hours, you can come in whenever you please, you know, maybe you don't have to adhere to the dress code, you know, because you know, you own the company, it's yours, you know, nobody's going to fire you. So, but we try to be very mindful of the idea that, you know, we're setting an example in wanting to make sure that we're not kind of abusing those privileges in that way, because I think it sends the wrong message to people, and you can get, you know, employees can get very discouraged when they're seeing, you know, oh, well, the boss gets to take off and take a 2-hour lunch and do that, you know. I think you can really be detrimental to your company if you're not, you know, kind of following your own rules and walking, you know, walking the walk, so to speak. So that was one of my takeaways from the chapter for sure.
Yeah, no, I believe in that so much, Kristen. It's the same thing, you know, obviously being a manager and being exempt employee, you know,
Yeah.
we can kind of work our 4 hours and go home.
Right.
But that's definitely not the example that we want to set for the employees around us. We need to make sure we're at our desks at the same time that they're expected to be at their desk.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you.
Anybody have anything else to add? Think we got it?
I think we're good.
Sounds like we're a wrap for this week. So I guess until next time.
Thank you.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you.